name is Commander Okukog, and welcome to another episode of Commander's Corner. And I want to thank you for visiting my channel and commenting, so I appreciate you so much. The episode today is the problem with Nigeria. Nigeria is at the precipice of its history, waiting to collapse into irrelevance, self-destruction, hunger, poverty, catastrophic implosion, anarchy, and perhaps another civil war. And God forbid, nobody wants war in that country. For a country with a vast resources, deposit of natural resources, human resources, and envied global position, it is ironic that it finds itself in such ugly, dire situation. Why? The question is why? Any hope for this new democracy and home of the most populous black people on the face of the earth? Which way, Nigeria? In my opinion, Nigeria is failing for the following 10 reasons. Number one, Nigeria was never formed by the people, with the people, and for the people. It was imposed on the people without their consensus or regards to regional politics, religion, lifestyle, cultures, and other mitigating factors. Two, Nigeria's political system is not democratic, but authoritarian, autocratic, and also very expensive to operate in poor, uninformed society like ours. Nigeria constantly borrows political system without fully understanding its history, applications, institutions, and the consequences. It has not designed a political system that mirror the complex, divergent economic makeup of those within its colonial boundary. Number three, Nigeria polity does not reflect the aspirations, cultures, diversities, and hope of its citizens. Not many identify with the motto and sovereign objective of the country. Nigeria means nothing to many people, but an entrapment of desperate and hopeless life. Hence, everyone wants out of the country. Those going overseas to seek green pastures or greener pastures, those agitating for self-governance, those agitating for reform, restructure, whatever you call it. Literally everybody wants out of the system. Number four, Nigeria does not represent any hope, nor build serious federations, republics, and good government for future generations. There is no sense of patriotism because the country exists only in the name and vacuum. Not many people would dare sacrifice their life or resources to save the country. Even the soldiers are confused for the reasons that they sacrifice every day for the country. Many of them look at being a soldier as a job, not a call of duty to serve their motherland. Number five, the power base of Nigeria is too centralized, too powerful, and controlled by the few. No true federalism in Nigeria. The power grab means total control of everyone and everything. It is still a military controlled system. They call it democracy, but it's really a camouflage because it's still a military control in civilian uniforms. The army, the government is still under the influence, order, and direction of military personnel, marauding, intimidating, and killing innocent civilians. The system has not changed. Number six, Although Nigeria is very wealthy, it is overtly corrupt, bold, inept, and faces no real or serious pressure or challenges from the people to do the right thing. People in Nigeria suffer from many social problems, chiefly caused by corruption and mismanagement of the national resources. Corruption is the main recognized culture of the country. It is practiced everywhere, top to bottom, in varied forms and manners. People appreciate and practice corruption more than obeying the laws of the land. It is much easier to bribe your way out of a situation than contest legality of offense or action. Bribery is shamefully a convenient means to circumvent or avoid the ugly trap of government bureaucracy and many red tapes. Number 7, Nigeria is controlled by few who are estranged from the masses. The rich, the powerful, and influential rule irrespective of tribe and region. This top class and elite use every conceivable illegal means to manipulate, maintain, acquire, and remain in power. The police, the army, and the court system, they aid, assist, and support in this power grab and control. Now, the new phenomena is Fulani Hausa people systematically enthroning their tribal people in all important influential political positions in the federal government. This is a domination of one tribe over another. Number 8, Nigeria does not reflect true character of its people and exhibits callous mentality in dealing with the poor. More than 70% of the population of Nigeria live below the poverty line, which is estimated to be merely 30,000 naira a month. But the politicians live in lavish, plush lifestyle, driving most expensive cars in the world, shopping, vacationing abroad, going overseas for medical checkups and treatments. And you ask yourself, is this a way that can sustain the country? Armed robbery, armed conflict, Boko Haram, nascent Fulani herdsmen menace, ritual killings, and kidnapping are now a daily news broadcast, and also the order of the day. Soon, my people, no one would escape these mayhems, whether you are rich or poor. Number 9, Nigeria is indeed very, very lawless, very careless, and discharges its laws with recklessness, injustice, and wickedness. Justice is rendered to the highest bidder, even in discharging the franchise of people's trust in an election. They take away mandate without fully understanding the implications to those who have been disfranchised. It is very pathetic, very pitiful, and arguably the worst threat to organized civilization and survival of democracy in the country if the legal system does not understand the damage it's doing to the system by always hearkening to the voice of the powerful. Justice should be to set the captives free, to render help to the poor and those that are at the bottom of the ladder. Number 10, finally, Nigeria is doomed to fail. Its foundation is weak, and its pillars and walls of survival are crumbling like the ancient city of Jericho. We must know that a failed state would always find excuses to maintain the status quo, because the state serves very few, does not give account of its stewardship, it constantly justifies its existence by wrapping itself around the flag and national anthem. These symbols are borrowed from people where the system actually works. African man does not understand what a flag represents, nor the singing of national anthem where he's hungry, where there's no electricity, there are no schools for his children, no security. There is no future for him. So both the flag and the national anthem are just borrowed symbols of power that means nothing to him. As I continue, it's important to know that these symbols, as they begin to be, debated, should either be discarded or a system be designed to really tell people what the flag is. Why do I have to start from the flag? Why have to recite the national anthem? Does it really mean anything to me? Does it solve my problem? No, it doesn't. As a failed or failing country, it is important to understand what the government uses to keep people in check. They use force or coercion to dominate, to loot, to pillage, and waste resources. These resources are very scarce. When you have a country that budgets billions of naira to renovate the National Assembly building, and the masses are asked to stay at home, you don't give them any assistance, no financial assistance, then where does the priority of the country rest? On the building or on the people? The present configuration and structure of Nigeria cannot work. It never worked before because its foundation was rot, distort, with suspension, mistrust, logjam between competing regions. The North and the South never really agreed to be a country. In 1960, they finally agreed to be a nation, but it was to be federated, every region existing on its own resources with a very weak center. But colonialism forced and amalgamated people from different regions to come together. The whole idea was to foster division, domination, tribalism, and hate, because they know that they will knock horns. The notion of a nation is alien and new, actually unworkable system to Africans, especially those who have had advanced working civilizations. They have allegiances and the culture. So forming together in a country is something that they never were used to. And it was forced on them. And since it was forced on them, they haven't really developed a formula for power sharing, for resource sharing, for coexistence. Instead, every region and tribe have been trying to position itself to outwit the other. To understand the complexities of these tribes, it is important to understand the history of every region. For example, the Fulani, or rather Hausa Fulani, had a political, religious cultures that are built on a pyramid structure, top-down formation of power, rulership, leadership, and followership. In the northern part, the emirs are pedestaled on top, very autocratic, and the masses are on the bottom, following without questions and contribution. In the south, Yoruba people have reference to their Oba, with chiefs as advisors and co-administrators. People operate independently. They pay homage and tribute to the monarch. In the east, the Igbos and other developed tribes and cultures. The Igbos are very independent and very autonomous, with no central figure controlling everyone and everything. There are settlements in every part of the region that have their own Ezes or Igwe as community head leaders working together and in consultation with elders and entitled chiefs. So in conclusion, I believe the Nigerian system needs to be completely changed and replaced. It is the difference between reform and rebuilding. You cannot reform something that never had a foundation, something that was never designed by the people to work for them, something that never yielded a fruit. It's like a tree that beareth no fruit must be cut down. Nigeria is at that place now. I believe that the difference between Nigeria of yesterday and Nigeria of today are constant development of criminals as politicians. We had less of them in the 60s and 70s, and we have more of them today, but the system have never changed. I believe that it's better to have 6 different working countries out of Nigeria than to have a non-functional, united, one-failed Nigeria. 6 countries out of the present Nigeria that will provide people with security, education, electricity, good economy, good outlook for future, meaningful life, and people will live in peace, than to have a one big Nigeria that has failed, that cannot provide for its people, cannot give account to the people, constantly killing, constantly mayhem, looting, kidnapping, vandalism, almost at the point of war. So the question today is, which would you like? To live in peace? Have 6 countries out of Nigeria? 7 countries? Or do you have hope? Do you have hope that Nigeria will change? That something good will come out of this mess? This is my opinion, and I'm passionate about it. And I know everybody has their opinion, right or wrong. And I often ask myself that if Nigeria really works, it will be to the betterment of almost every black man on earth. But because Nigeria has failed, it seems to reflect on every black nation, every black person. It would be nice if it succeeds. But the handwriting on the wall says no. With the political class that we have today, with the leadership, with the criminal elements, embezzlement, fleecing of the country, and no diversification. There's no diversity in Nigeria. It's only just one oil. They will do everything to frustrate businesses because the people are not within their camps. So I want to hear from you. I want you to comment. I want you to like. I want you to share. But most, please, subscribe. Let's make this your corner. It's my corner, but it's also your corner. So let's either make Nigeria work or design a better Nigeria where we all can live in peace and in harmony. Thank you.